What's happening, everybody? It's F Major. Greetings from Berlin. I just wanted to talk to y'all today, just for a short while, about a couple things. Been getting a lot of questions about machines since I did that video with Native Instruments, and just a couple quick points about Maschine. A lot of people are asking me things about Maschine and how it compares to the MPC and how to come from an MPC to Maschine. And I think it's important to take a couple steps back and to realize that Maschine is not an MPC at all. Maschine is its own instrument. Maschine has never been an MPC and it never will be an MPC. It will be an alternative for people that are looking for, that hardware flow and that similar feel that you get when using an MPC or any other type of hardware, drum machine, drum sampling workstation. But it's not an MPC. MPC has a few things that are very specific to it, such as the fact that the MPC generally has 2 to 4 MIDI outputs, whereas Maschine just has one. So if you're in a room full of MIDI equipment that you want to have hooked up to Maschine and be able to sequence it all on Maschine, it's really not going to happen. You only get one MIDI output, which means a maximum of 16 channels. Several other things that are drastically different, but I just think it's important for us to realize that as all these new products come out and as technology advances, it's important for us not to always try to homogenize things into what we're familiar with all the time, because it can. I know it seems like you want everything to be as familiar to you as possible in order for you to get up and running with things quickly. But it's also important for us to learn new things and understand how new products can help us think differently. It's not always about thinking the same way. It's really about the paradigm shift. It's about using the changing times and the changing technology to your advantage and developing new innovative ways to work. I think that's more important than always trying to homogenize things and say that because this with the 16 pads or whatever is similar to how the MPC is, that we should make it now MPC. And I don't think that's really what it is. I think what it really is that we need to dive into the possibilities in this and see, what the strengths are, what the limitations are, and see how we can go beyond the limitations and come up with something unique. There will always be arguments that, this is an MPC killer or whatever. I think it's only an MPC killer if you were looking for this to kill the MPC for you. It's different. And for me personally, I don't use an MPC anymore. Mainly, the main thing was I had already gone to the software side. I had already been using software. Even when I got my MPC back, I was already using software mainly. And the fact of the matter is, this allowed me to do the things that I was doing on the MPC quicker for me. That's not going to be the case for everyone, though. Everyone's different. Everyone's going to have different needs and requirements. But for what I was doing personally, I was able to get the job done quicker now using Maschine instead of the MP. So I don't ever recommend anyone sell their MPC or any equipment really, and I don't think that you really have to, given the price point of Maschine. Really, I think if you want to try it out, you can try it out, and try it out secondhand. Shoot it. You'll probably be able to find it for about $350 secondhand if you want to really do that. But I don't think it's one of those things where I gotta sell my MPC so I can get Maschine. And if I don't like Maschine, then I'm gonna run back and get an MP. Why do that? Why torture yourself like that? Learn something new. It's a new instrument. but it's really about expanding, expanding your mind to learn new things. The more we try to focus on how this compares to an NPC, the further we are from actually breaking through to something creative, to a new creative level. Because realistically, once you start realizing what this can do, you'll see that there's things in here that don't exist really anywhere else, and you can use this to your advantage and be more creative musically. To me, that's really what it's about, because the creativity comes from how people use certain products and the context that they are able to use it in. It's not really about what the product can do for you. It's about how you can use the product creatively. And I think because there are limitations to products, we develop different workflows and different ways to manipulate the things that, typically would stop other people. Because, I've noticed this a lot, actually. People get new equipment or whatever, and they come to this one, limitation point. And at that point of limitation, they stop and say, well, it doesn't do that, so I'm not going to use it anymore. And the reality is, if they thought about it a little bit differently and said, it doesn't do what I want to do, let's see what I can do differently though. Maybe I can change my approach now. Maybe I should think outside of my box. I think, that's just a different perspective. Obviously, if you have very specific needs and something already addresses your very specific needs, then go get what addresses those needs. But other than that, be creative. Don't let limitations stop you from being creative. Don't let limitations stop you from making music, because there's always going to be limitations. But we need to be innovative with our approach to limitations, always. So that's just a little altruism for y'all. I'll holler at y'all. I'll be back in the States in a couple days, so I'll holler. Peace.